Rain, torrents, relentless. A young boy, barely 10, huddled in the temple doorway. His village ablaze. Screams, please. The stench of burning flesh. He had seen too much, felt too much. A rough hand yanked him inside. The temple priest, his only solace. Sanctuary, but at a price. That night the fire devoured his sight. Not the flames, but blades. Enemies of his father, a warlord they sought to punish. They took the boy's sight, his world now an abyss. But in the darkness, a spark, a vow. He would become a weapon, a wraith, a bringer of silent, terrible justice. Years of training, honing his senses, mastering the blade. He became a whirlwind of death, striking unseen, unheard. His enemies fell one by one to his silent fury. The temple became his crucible, the priest, his master. Years bled into each other, the boy's rage a constant hum. He learned to hear the whisper of the wind, the subtle shift of gravel, the heartbeat of a man 20 paces away. His senses, preternaturally sharp, became his eyes. He trained with katanas, their cold steel an extension of himself. Each swing a symphony of death, each kill a prayer to the night. He learned the art of stealth, of disappearing into the shadows, learned to become one with the darkness that had claimed him. His body, a temple of honed muscle and deadly grace. He was no longer a boy, he was a whisper, a phantom, an assassin. His first kill was swift, clean. A corrupt official, fattened by bribes and dripping with the blood of innocence. The ninja struck from the darkness, a phantom reaping a soul. No remorse, no hesitation. He became a legend, the Blind Reaper. They whispered his name in hushed tones, a demon who haunted the night, delivering justice with cold, unforgiving steel. Each kill, however, chipped away at his soul. The faces of his victims etched in his mind, their pleas, their terror, a haunting chorus. He was a monster born of tragedy, trapped in a cycle of violence, a puppet master pulling his own strings. The final target, the man who orchestrated the massacre of his village, the man who took everything. He found him in a secluded mountain fortress, surrounded by an army of guards. The ninja moved like a wraith, his senses painting a clear picture of the fortress. He cut down his enemies one by one, a silent, deadly dance of death. Each kill fueled his rage, but also amplified the gnawing emptiness within him. He reached his target, a gasp, recognition. The man was his father's brother. Betrayal, it tasted like ash in his mouth. He hesitated. The moment stretched, pregnant with unspoken truths. The man lunged. The ninja reacted instinctively, his katana a silver flash in the moonlight. Silence. He had won, but at what cost? The cycle of violence unbroken, fueled by betrayal and despair. The blind ninja stood over the body of his uncle, the weight of his actions pressing down on him. The fortress was silent, the echoes of his deadly dance fading into the night. He had avenged his village, but the victory felt hollow. The faces of his victims haunted him, their pleas for mercy a constant whisper in his mind. He had become the very thing he sought to destroy, a monster, a bringer of death. He had cut down countless foes, each strike more brutal than the last. The path of vengeance had led him to this moment, but it offered no solace. He was alone, a shadow in the night. The blind ninja disappeared into the darkness, leaving behind a trail of blood and sorrow. His journey was far from over. The abyss still called to him, and he would answer, for he was the Blind Reaper, and his story was not yet finished. Far from the mountain fortress, in a quiet village untouched by the chaos, a young girl sat by a small shrine. She prayed for her family's safety, her voice a soft murmur in the stillness. The villagers spoke of a legend, a blind warrior who roamed the land, avenging the wronged and punishing the wicked. They called him the Blind Reaper, a figure of both fear and hope. The girl looked up at the moon, her eyes filled with determination. She believed in the legend, believed that one day, the Blind Reaper would come to her village and bring justice. In her heart, she knew that the darkness could not last forever. There was always a chance for redemption, a chance for the cycle of violence to be broken. As the blind ninja walked away from the fortress, the girl's prayer reached him, a faint whisper carried by the wind. He paused, the weight of his katana suddenly bearable. The abyss still called to him, but now there was a glimmer of light, a new purpose, a chance to be more than a bringer of death, to be a protector, a guardian. The blind ninja continued his journey, his steps lighter, his heart a little less burdened. The story of the Blind Reaper was not yet finished, and perhaps, just perhaps, it could have a different ending.